The Spurs are back, but not the team you remember. With Wemby and Fox leading, they're dominating like never before.
More concerned with the Stephen Castle being out, Dylan Harper's being out. So this is a good opportunity for these young guys to build up some character and build some depth for this too.
The San Antonio Spurs were expected to fall apart without Wemby, without Castle, and for a time without Dylan Harper. Most people thought the season was already over. But instead of collapsing, the Spurs surprised everyone. They're not falling, they're improving.
Crowd loud. Fox responds. De'Aaron Fox right on time.
They're beating playoff teams, playing tough defense, and showing this isn't the same old Spurs team anymore. Coming into the season, San Antonio had quiet confidence. They finally had the right balance. Experienced veterans and young, hungry players ready to break out. At the center of it all was Victor Wembanyama, a rare talent who changes the game on both ends of the floor. He protects the rim, impacts every possession, and makes things happen on offense in ways few players can. The reason expectations were cautious was last season. Wembanyama played only 46 games after being diagnosed with deep vein thrombosis, a serious health issue for anyone, especially an NBA player. But when he returned, he looked different, healthier, sharper, and more focused. For a stretch, the Spurs didn't just look competitive, they looked special. In fact, the franchise had never started a season 5-0 before, not even during the Tim Duncan or Tony Parker eras. But in the 2025-26 season, they actually did it. Led by Wembanyama's ridiculous numbers, 30 points, 14 rebounds, 3 assists, and nearly 5 blocks a game. The Spurs came out flying. That's not just good basketball, that's pure dominance. They stormed through the first week of the season, and the wild part is they did it without De'Aaron Fox. Their big offseason signing and expected floor general, what changed? Wemby took full control. He became the offense, setting the pace, drawing double teams, and still scoring with ease. Rookie Dylan Harper, the number 2 pick, stepped in perfectly as the second option and looked completely comfortable. Stephen Castle, coming off his Rookie of the Year season, kept building momentum, improving across the board, and becoming a real two-way presence. Then the momentum took a hit. On November 14th, Wembanyama went down with a left calf strain. Given his medical history, the Spurs were careful, which made sense. They weren't going to risk their franchise player. But then things got worse. The very next game, Castle was injured too. Suddenly, San Antonio was without both of its young stars. Most teams would have collapsed right there. No stars usually means no wins. But the Spurs didn't fold. They kept competing, grinding out tough victories, including a hard-fought win against Atlanta and a statement win over Denver, one of the West's best teams. So how did they do it? How did a team missing its top players turn a potential disaster into a statement run? That's what makes this Spurs story different.
Fears, and Wembanyama sends it away from the rookie.
First things first, let's be honest. You don't replace Victor Wembanyama. There is no backup plan for a 7-foot, 5 unicorn putting up MVP-level numbers in just his second season. He's leading the league in blocks by a huge margin, and offensively he's better than ever. At this pace, he's about to join Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and David Robinson as only the 3rd player in NBA history to average 25 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 blocks per game. And somehow, he's doing it more efficiently than both of them. That's insane. But since you can't clone Wemby, the Spurs adjusted. Instead of trying to replace him, they built a tough, physical system around one simple idea: possessions win games. It sounds basic, but the execution has been brilliant. Outwork teams, out-rebound them, force turnovers, control the tempo. When you do that, you control the game. That's exactly how San Antonio has been surprising teams. Look at their gritty win over Portland. No flashy highlights, no hot shooting night, just effort. They took 14 more shots than the Blazers by dominating the boards and forcing mistakes. Every extra possession mattered, and it was just enough to seal the win. When you're missing a 25-point superstar, every possession becomes valuable. That's where De'Aaron Fox stepped up. He took full control as the floor general and settled the offense. With Fox running things, the Spurs suddenly look organized, confident, and in control. The biggest difference? Fewer turnovers. A lot fewer. And that control has kept them competitive even without their biggest star. In 5 of the 7 games without Wembanyama and Castle, the Spurs have kept turnovers to 10 or fewer. That's not luck. That's leadership. De'Aaron Fox has been the calm in the chaos. He controls the pace, reads the defense, and keeps the offense moving with purpose. Without the up-and-down style that Wemby and Castle sometimes bring, the Spurs have played steadier, smarter basketball. Fox's veteran presence has become the anchor holding this young team together when games get tight. Then there's the dirty work, the kind that wins games when stars are out. Right now, the Spurs are dominating the offensive glass. Their rebounding has jumped compared to last season, and that's no accident. Jeremy Sochan is crashing in from the corners nonstop. Luke Cornett is using his size to battle inside. And Keldon Johnson is attacking the boards with pure aggression. It's second-chance basketball at its finest. Missed shots turn into extra possessions turn into points, and points turn into wins. It's not flashy, but it's classic Spurs basketball. Grit, hustle, and patience. Defensively, they've been just as smart. Without 2 of their best defenders in Wemby and Castle, San Antonio can't rely on talent alone. So they're relying on intelligence. Instead of gambling or chasing highlight blocks, they're controlling shot selection. For years, the Spurs' defensive identity has been simple. Force opponents into the least efficient shot in basketball, the mid-range jumper. That philosophy is still alive. San Antonio gives up more mid-range shots than any team in the league on purpose, and opponents are hitting them at just 41.8%. That might sound okay, but it's actually one of the worst returns per possession. Those shots rarely draw fouls and almost never swing momentum. Every time an opponent settles for a mid-range jumper, the Spurs consider it a win. It's quiet, disciplined dominance, and proof that this team still understands exactly who they are. But when Wemby comes back, everything changes. Add the league's best rim protector and rebounder back into this system, and the Spurs become terrifying. They'll end possessions with Wemby's blocks and start new ones with relentless rebounding. It's the perfect mix of toughness and control, and it's already making this short-handed group dangerous. Since losing Wemby and Castle, the Spurs have been fighting like every game matters. They dive for loose balls, play through contact, and force turnovers at the biggest moments. They refuse to back down. And at the center of that fight is De'Aaron Fox, who looks like the player Sacramento once believed in. After a rough ending with the Kings and an injury-filled first year in San Antonio, some people wondered if Fox was declining. The answer is simple: no chance. Without Wemby, Fox has taken over, averaging 26 points, 3 rebounds, and 7 assists. His first step is still explosive. His end-to-end speed still leaves defenders behind, and his court vision is sharp. Fox is putting constant pressure on the rim, finishing an elite 81% of his shots inside 3 feet. Nearly 18% of his offense comes from fearless drives to the basket. That rim pressure keeps defenses guessing. Play back, and he blows past you. Step up, and he kicks it out to open shooters. Normally, Fox's mid-range jumper would punish tight coverage, but this season it hasn't been falling. He's shooting just 30% from that area. But instead of forcing it, Fox adjusted like a true pro. With Wemby sidelined, he leaned into the three-point shot, taking 6.4 threes per game and hitting an impressive 38%. That's a career-high. If that shooting holds, it changes everything. Defenses won't be able to sag off him anymore, and that opens the floor for everyone else. The results speak for themselves. In the 12 games Fox has played during this stretch, the Spurs have won 8. He's been carrying the team on both ends, and everyone in the locker room sees it. Head coach Mitch Johnson praised him. He's doing a lot for us right now. Veteran Keldon Johnson added, "De'Aaron's been great. He's really carried us." That's respect you earn when you save a season. Now the real excitement starts. What happens when Wemby and Stephon Castle return? Fox has found a new rhythm, a scoring style that forces defenses to stretch. Add 2 more elite defenders to that mix, and it becomes a nightmare for opponents. Rookie Dylan Harper is finally back from injury. 2. The Spurs are easing him into the rotation, but it's clear how well he fits with Fox. Harper can create, pass, and attack the rim when defenses overcommit. That's exactly what Fox needs. Another playmaker to draw attention and free him up. Even after missing 10 games, Harper stepped onto the court like he'd never left, smooth, confident, and composed. He's quickly become a key piece off the bench, balancing the second unit with his scoring and playmaking. If you're feeling this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment. And I'll see you on the next one.